Hey everyone, I am joined by Deron Dalton. He is a social media journalist and he's single. Anyway, Deron reports on stories that relate to gender issues and race issues. But today we have him here because he describes himself as a black gay feminist. Is that right?
Gay black male feminist. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, gay black male feminist. Why do you identify as a gay black male feminist?
Which one do you want to read?
Which
Start
one
with the gay, the black, the male, or the
So
feminist?
since this is Women of Action, we're going to start with the feminist part.
Women's rights are human rights, and basically women are fighting for gender equality, equal pay, equal rights, equal opportunity. Notice I said the word equal like 4 or 5 times there, so
Right.
that's what it's
Right.
about to me. It's just human rights. So.
It struck me as interesting because you identified as a feminist when very many women who actually have feminist ideals don't identify as feminists. I've been guilty of in the past of saying, oh, not to be all feminist and stuff. I've been guilty of saying things like that. Like,
Were you man bashing?
no, I love men. All men.
Me too.
A lot.
Me too.
Say I'm bringing up a conversation about equal pay, and I'd say something like, oh, not to be all feminist and stuff, like burning my bra, as though it's like some kind of negative thing. It was about equal rights. And
So we all should be feminists.
agreed. And that's
Gay-
why I have you sitting here.
gay,
This is
black,
brilliant. Oh, you know what? You
white,
just continue
male,
with the
female.
show, and then, like, I'm totally not necessary right now. I'm just gonna move out of the frame.
Necessary, you're like the mini Oprah, the younger Oprah.
Oh, thank you for saying that. You were a dear, dear man. But I've read some of your stuff. You've been a contributor to the Huffington Post.
Yeah.
And you wrote a letter about your coming out process, and you shared that story.
Right.
And you said that you were inspired by Don Lemon.
The news had just broke that he had just officially come
Yeah.
out, and I was inspired by the fact that he was a 40-something-year-old black man who finally was comfortable enough in his own skin to be out in public and say that he was, gay. And being that he was also a very well-known journalist who I looked up to, kind of like pushed me because I realized like I didn't want to be a 40-something-year-old black man still struggling to come out, especially because I knew I wasn't going to have his looks at that age. So
His looks. To bring it back to your HuffPost piece, why Don Lemon is my hero and should be a hero for all young gay black males. You wrote to all young black males who are struggling with their sexuality, living dishonest, cowardly lives on the down low.
the down low ones. There's a difference between being down low and struggling to come out, but we can talk more about that later.
Okay, well, we're gonna get back to that. And thinking about harming themselves or even considering coming out, know that it's okay to find an idol and allow him or her to inspire you. You know what was really striking about your story that I think anybody can relate to? It's about coming out and speaking your truth and sharing your truth. So can you share some tips? We also want to teach.
Ooh.
So can you share some tips about like how do you go about sharing something difficult that you couldn't before?
Pretty much what helped me was inspiration. I needed like that example of how to do it, how to be fearless, how to be, your own hero, kind of, sort of, and also look at someone else as being your hero, I guess. So that's my biggest tip is look for the inspiration, and you just have to be ready at the same time. Sometimes people aren't ready till later on in life.
It really is more about like soul searching. Be like, if you're not in that space to like really to tell yourself the truth, how are you going to share the truth with anybody else?
Right.
I'm finding that's true more and more and more every day for me.
But I also think it's the environment around us as well. Especially as young men of color, gay men of color, it's really hard culturally to come out. It really is hard. So within the black community, there's there's black homophobia. There's the black church, which I think was Don Lemon's issue with coming out. How he kind of struggled with it.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not as religious, but I kind of like grew up hearing all those homophobic slurs, and basically I felt like being gay was like the worst thing you can possibly be. So I try to bury it in my mind, being gay. Like I had to tell myself, no, you have to be straight because that's the right way, you know. And it definitely took knowledge and freedom from ignorance to like realize that no. Obviously, your earliest memories were of you being gay. You being attracted to other little boys when you were a little boy, when I was a little boy. Gotta make that clear, when I was a little boy. So obviously, maybe, you know, you were actually born gay. You know, you were meant to be gay, and that's absolutely fine.
You see, I don't know if we mentioned earlier that you're single.
Yeah, we did.
But so am I.
I blew a kiss and everything.
Oh, okay.
You should blow a kiss to the camera, too. No, you gotta float your eyelashes. Yeah, there you go. That's how you pull them in.
That's yeah.
See this
that's how you
silky,
scare them
smooth.
away. Are you kidding me?
No, you see the silky smooth chocolate skin. Yes. Work it. Gone with the wind. Fabulous.
Well, that's another show.
Intro.
So, I'm putting myself out there and dating. What signs do I look for when I'm when a man approaches me and may or may not be on the down low?
Ooh.
I would imagine that someone who's harboring a secret on the DL or not on the DL.
Don't you women like know when men are keeping secrets from you? You might think that he's cheating, but you know, like there's something's wrong.
Always,
you know that something's wrong, right?
I suppose you always know when someone's keeping a secret, whether it's about being gay or having a whole other family on the side. I mean, like, I know that was a really dramatic example.
Did that happen to you?
No.
Okay. You know, there's those certain guys that are those Izzies or isn't he's, you know, like, and, you know, sometimes guys, you know, like they're a little bit more feminine because maybe they were raised by their mother, and it's nothing wrong with that. Like, for instance, not all gay men are feminine, like, or flamboyant. Like, I don't consider myself flamboyant. I definitely have some feminine qualities because I was raised by my mother, like talking with the hands. Yeah,
I mean, but who doesn't have feminine or masculine? Like, we all walk that gray line.
Like,
we all
you can't be a feminist and not, you know, be aware that femininity is awesome, you know. So
say that again.
Femininity is awesome. Feminists are awesome. Male feminists are awesome.
You are awesome.
Black female feminists are awesome. And I'm awesome, like she said. Awesome.
And that brings us back to our awesomeness.
Exactly.
Into what you say.
No, but seriously, gay is so awesome. Like, it's so liberating. It's a struggle, but it's also very liberating, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, because when I came out as gay, I think that's when I started to become more of a feminist and started to realize that other people's issues, other people of color's issues, because before that it was all about being black, you know, like relating to those struggles in our history and you know our triumphs and all that, the black diaspora. And then when I came out, I was like, well, I'm open about being gay now, and you know, these people over here are also fighting for the same or similar rights, rights. And these people over here are also fighting for those rights. So we all share something in common, you know, like Latinos' rights and women's rights, LGBT rights, black people's rights.
Human rights, exactly.
I think there's a saying that none of us are free until all of us are equal.
Deron is awesome, and you are too, especially if you watch our other videos. Like them, love them, share them.